Yo, what's up, folks? You already know what it is. It's your boy DJ Black Holiday. This is the Black Holiday Experience. Like I've been telling y'all all day long, I got my girl Wendy Day. She's on the phone. For you guys who don't know who she is, she's gonna let you guys know what's what she do, her history, you know, just a little bit of everything about her. Hey, Wendy Day, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. But for the listeners out there that don't know who's Wendy Day, can you give them a little history about you?
Absolutely, and I'll try to make it quick so that everybody's eyes don't glaze over. In 1992, I started an organization called Rap Coalition. It's a not-for-profit organization that pulls people out of bad record deals and bad management deals. After that, I went on to do some deals, and the company still exists, 18 years strong. I'm really proud of it. After that, I went on to do the Cash Money deal, Master P's original deal, Twista's deal, David Banner's deal, Eminem's deal, just a whole bunch of deals in the music industry for artists who get to own and retain their masters, ownership.
That's what's up. So that means
in a nutshell, that's what I do.
You've been putting in a lot of work out here. There's a lot of stories about on the internet about you. I've been hearing a lot of positive things about you. I got my man T-Da-Tastemaker, my co-host, right here next to me. He got a few questions for you as well.
Beautiful. Hey T, how you doing?
What's going on, Wendy, man? I've been seeing you. I've been hearing about you. I have a main question for you, Wendy. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel now? The game has changed since the past 10 years, since you've been doing these big deals in the past.
You know, it's funny because those big deals don't exist anymore, so your question is so perfectly timed. The industry's changed so much in the past, just the past 5 years even, you know, and both for the better and for the worse. And what I mean by that is it's gotten better because with the prices of recording equipment becoming more affordable so that people can record, you know, in their own crib, with the advent of the internet, them being able to upload music as soon as they record it onto the internet and have distribution directly to the fans, which is the consumer, it's a really great thing. It's made it so that rap is available, not just rap, but my world is rap, so I'm going to keep saying rap, but it's really all music, you know? It's really made it so it's accessible to everybody. You don't have to go and spend $100,000 to make an album anymore. You can make an album, you know, a good album for $5,000. So it's changed positively in that respect. The downside of that is that now everybody's a rapper. You know, I went to Waffle House here in my neighborhood the other night, and the guy who was cooking my eggs turned around and asked me what I did. I told him what I do, and he's like, oh shit, I own a record label. I'm like, oh man, the guy who is cooking my eggs at Waffle House is, you know, a label owner. The FedEx guy who delivers packages to my house is a rapper. My mailman is a producer. That accessibility has just kind of made it
watered down
to everybody, which is both good and bad.
This your boy T-Da-Tastemaker live on the Black Holiday Experience show every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. I have my girl Wendy Day here explaining the rap game. But I'm about to go into a throwback hit. Haters everywhere. B.O.B. Bob, what up? 5 nominations, 13 million souls. What can these haters say about us? Not a goddamn thing. Let's go, homie.
Accessible, and it's no more. There's no more challenge to it. You know,
exactly.
It's no challenge to it. Everything you could just Fruity Loops it or reason it and call it a day. You know, and it's not fair. And the game is not fair because we're not putting challenge to it because the only thing we're seeing is the dollar sign.
Yeah, nobody's putting in work anymore. Everybody just want handouts.
And I blame MySpace.
I blame people's greed, so yeah. I guess we can blame whatever we feel is the culprit. But it's funny because another aspect of that is the change that's occurred in the past 5 years at the labels because there are so many rappers and because there's such an influx of people willing to come into this industry and work cheaper and undercut everybody else. What the record labels have done is they've stopped spending real money on rap music. And the problem with that is that if you don't have the proper budget to get your record out there, it's just not going to move. It's gonna kind of sit still and not go anywhere. And I'm looking at these deals, and deals where back in the day when artists were able to get a deal for $300,000, which could support them for, 2 or 3 years until their album came out, now they have these ridiculously bad 360 deals, which means labels get a percentage, sometimes up to half of all the money an artist makes. And I mean all the money an artist makes. And the downside of that is that artists can't really support themselves with their music anymore. And that's a huge problem.
So that's why
when you're signed to a label deal and you can't quit your day job so that you can devote your full time to it, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a major problem. So as far as any advice, what advice would you give the local individual artists that are like striving on their own, that has like nobody out there to help them out? What advice would you give them as far as how do they go approaching a label if they're not signed to anybody yet? How would you advise them?
I would suggest that they don't approach a label. I would suggest that they build their buzz locally as strong as they can and let the labels come to them. I'm here in Atlanta, so I'm going to use Travis Porter as an example. Okay. There's a local group here called Travis Porter. They've been doing their thing on the underground and on the streets for about 3 years. And everybody knows who they are here. They've really blown up super large. They got to a point where the record label started bidding more because everybody wanted to sign them because they worked so hard. And these guys are able to travel around the country. They can do shows all the way up even in Detroit. And again, they're from Atlanta. They're an underground group. But they're getting somewhere between, $3,000 to $7,000 a show. That's not bad. And they're doing like 3 and 4 shows a night. So these guys are really able to then take that money that they're earning from show income and turn it back around and put it into radio and put it into street teams and put it into promotion so that they're able to actually build themselves a nice little career. They just signed to Jive Records last Friday, which is really exciting for them because they were running out of money doing it independently. They wanted to get to the next level and couldn't. But the difference is they got to choose when to go major. They stayed independent for 3 years.
So basically...
And that's really the key. The key isn't whether or not to sign to a record label. It's to do it when it's beneficial to you, the artist, not beneficial to the label.
This your boy T-Da-Tastemaker live on the Streets FM 89.1 here on the Black Holiday Experience show. Got my girl Wendy Day speaking the truth. This is a little bit of Twister, man. Somebody she signed. Hope y'all get familiar of who Wendy Day is. This your boy T-Da-Tastemaker. Twister, talk to them, homie.
Another issue that we have here in South Florida is they have this thing called Support Florida Music. And my issue is this. This is the South. You get what I'm saying? You're in Atlanta. When you hear a record pop off from Georgia or anything like that, you don't hear them saying, "Oh, this is Georgia music. This is Southern music." The problem,
national.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I have a problem with the term what's going on here in South Florida where they're saying support Florida music. I feel like that's creating boundaries. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like
what's happening is it's limiting it to becoming South Florida music. If you say to somebody support South Florida music and they support somebody who's local, it's not giving them the opportunity to expand up into Alabama, up into Georgia, over to Texas, over into Louisiana. It sort of pigeonholes them to always being local. And that's the complaint that the industry has about Florida music, is that it's too local. It's too... People in Florida are making music for Florida. People in Atlanta are making music for the world. That's why you saw Atlanta blow up and stay on. Whereas Florida blew up and it's really struggling. When you look at the Miami scene, it's so different from the Atlanta scene. It exploded, but it didn't really develop legs. And here's what I mean by that. In New Orleans, when I did Master P's deal and then turned around and did the Cash Money deal 4 years later, right? What it did was it made a whole bunch of indie labels spring up and start doing their thing. When Slip and Slide blew up and when Po' Boy blew up, what happened in South Florida was every artist wanted to sign to one of those two labels.
Exactly.
I don't understand that mentality. What is different between New Orleans and South Florida? Why did Master P and Cash Money inspire people to follow in their footsteps, yet Slip and Slide and Po' Boy didn't? And I don't quite understand how that happened or why that happened. Maybe you could shed some light for me, because that's going to answer your question.
I have 2 words, Wendy, 2 words, and excuse my language when I say this. It's called dick riding.
Well, then, you know what it is? It's the mentality of the local artists, and that's why the artists there are local. And that's why companies like Slip and Slide and Po' Boy and now Cash Money, that's based in Miami, and I hear Gucci Man just moved to Miami. That's why these guys who understand the music business and understand the financials in the music business can come along and sign artists and take all of the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, that's why. Because the market for talent is still there. There's an incredible amount of talent in Florida.
And yes.
But there's not an incredible amount of grind or understanding so that these guys can go out and build the next Po' Boy or build the next Slip and Slide. The mentality is jump on their bandwagon, sign to them, and that's great. But understand that when you do that, you're going to give up 90% of your money to the next man, and you can't complain about that.
Everybody want to look out. Everybody want just freebies.
And I'm so happy that you're telling the people and the local, because I'm gonna push this interview till the wheels fall off, Wendy, because the problem is that a lot of the local, and I hate saying that word because I'm not local. I'm from Miami. I'm not local. You get what I'm saying? You know how I met you?
Right.
I knew about you because I traveled. You get what I'm saying?
Have to.
And I feel like Southwest Airlines have the best deals out there. $59, you know what I'm saying, one way. It could take you anywhere in the whole South fucking region. And you can actually see and meet people like yourself that could actually give you a better insight on your career. Because at the end of the day, you're going to consider yourself local when you short yourself, when you only want to just promote within your city. You know, those 5,000 CDs could be everywhere except, you know, in your home city.
Exactly.
Like I feel Miami has a lot of great.
I think that's important.
I feel that Miami has a lot of great talent, but the only problem is I don't feel like they're putting in enough work. Cause
they're not.
As me being a DJ,
they're not attracting the major labels. And if they were putting in enough work, the major labels would be coming to Miami and signing artists directly, and they're not.
Exactly. Well, we have Wendy Day on the phone. I told you guys it was gonna be an exclusive interview. You know, Wendy, I definitely want to say thank you for the time. You know, I know you're very busy. You can be doing so much other things, but you're on the phone with us right now, so we really appreciate that. You know, I want to say thank you.
This is what matters. This is what's important.
You know what I'm saying? They need a little light down here because it seems like a lot of confusion, a lot of hating going on, but that's everywhere else. But you know, as Miami, as a Floridian, I feel like, you know, we should all stick together with everybody, period, as far as music. If we all doing music, we all should do music together and try to grow as a whole team together. You know, not just trying to dick ride, quote unquote, like T said, but hey, you know, it's the Black Holiday Experience. It's how it goes down.
That's a beautiful thing. Thanks for your time, guys. I appreciate you both.
And Wendy,
T.Da-Tastemaker, it links everything. My Twitter address is @RapCoalition. You can Google me, though. My name again is Wendy Day, D-A-Y, and the Google page will bring back every link to me that exists in life.
Okay, and thank you so much, Wendy. I thank you so much for taking the time out, and you know, and I will definitely follow up with you on everything.
All right, appreciate you.
Outstanding. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye.
That's your girl, Wendy Day, live on the StreetsFM.com.
You got it locked to 89.1, the Streets FM. We keep the streets on fire.